Scott Adams. He was an American cartoonist and author who created the Dilbert comic strip and wrote a range of non-fiction works centered on business life, commentary, and satire. Adams held a series of corporate positions before transitioning to cartooning full-time in 1995. By the mid-1990s, Dilbert, which debuted in 1989, had achieved widespread recognition in the United States and expanded to an international readership. The strip remained popular for decades and led to the publication of numerous related books by Adams. During the mid-2010s, he also became active as an independent commentator on current events and politics. Adams's rising success enabled him to become a full-time cartoonist when Dilbert was being carried by about 800 newspapers. He was born 1957 and died January 13th. He was 68 years, due to prostate cancer. John Forté. He was an American recording artist and producer, best known as a member of the refugee camp All-Stars Collective. He gained recognition through collaborations such as We Trying to Stay Alive and Rumble in the Jungle, as well as for his production contributions to The Score, 1996, which received widespread critical acclaim and led to a Grammy Award nomination for Forté. He released his debut studio album, Poli-Sci, in 1998. Forté's professional career began in the early 1990s after being introduced to the Fugees by Lauryn Hill. He co-wrote and produced multiple tracks on the group's 1996 album The Score, which achieved multi-platinum sales and won a Grammy Award. At the age of 21, his contributions to the album earned him a Grammy nomination. He later toured internationally with the Fugees and contributed both production and vocals to Wyclef Jean Presents the Carnival, 1997. Forté issued the album I, John in 2001. The recording took place while he was awaiting trial on a drug offense and was met with positive reception. In addition, he composed the theme for the CBS News documentary series Brooklyn DA. He was born 1975 and died January 12th. He was 50 years. He was found dead at his home. Camille Yambe. He was a Paraguayan musician, vocalist, composer, and impersonator, recognized as a leading representative of Paraguayan music. Over a career lasting more than 50 years, he developed a unique stage approach combining singing with animal imitations, Guarani humor, anecdotes, and historical narratives. In 1960, Yambe partnered with Pablo Barrios to form a musical duo, and in 1961 he went on to establish the group Los Alfonsinos. He led the ensemble for several years, during which they maintained an intensive performance schedule of roughly 200 appearances annually and released more than 30 recordings in the polka and guarania genres. The group's commercial success earned Yambe 2 gold records, awarded in 1978 and again in 1992. Yambe's interest in animal impersonations began early. He first appeared on stage at age 8, performing sounds of dogs and other animals from farm and jungle settings. He was born 1938 and died January 14th. He was 87 years, due to cerebrovascular accident or stroke. Claudette Colvin, an American civil rights activist and nurse aide, she was arrested in Montgomery, Alabama, in March 1955 at the age of 15 for declining to yield her bus seat to a white woman. Her arrest preceded Rosa Parks' similar, more famous act by 9 months. Colvin was one of 4 plaintiffs in Browder v. Gale, the first federal court case filed on February 1956 by civil rights attorney Fred Gray to challenge bus segregation in Montgomery. She testified before the 3-judge panel hearing the case. On June 13, 1956, the court ruled that Alabama's state and local laws requiring bus segregation were unconstitutional. The state appealed to the United States Supreme Court, which upheld the decision on November 1956. He was born 1939 and died January 13th. He was 86 years, due to natural causes. Rick Link, an American professional wrestler, trainer, and promoter, he competed throughout North America in the 1970s and 1980s with the NWA. He performed under multiple ring names, most notably as the Man-Eating Beast and Man Mountain Link, participating in high-profile feuds including the CWA storyline with Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman. His career also included appearances in Georgia Championship Wrestling, ICW, IWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, and Stampede Wrestling. During NWA's 1983 New Zealand tour, he regularly featured on the mat, remaining undefeated. Link debuted as a professional wrestler in March 1975, a day following his 16th birthday, after around 6 months of training. He was born 1959 and died January 14th. He was 66 years. Cause is not given. Doug McConnell, an American television journalist, he focused on environmental issues and maintained programs on the air continuously since 1982. He produced and hosted a variety of series and specials, receiving multiple Emmys, an Iris, and a Gabriel for his work. Starting in 1993, McConnell was the host and senior editor of Krantz Bay Area Backroads, a program focused on the San Francisco Bay Area. During his tenure on Backroads, he co-wrote 2 popular travel guides for Chronicle Books. In 1993, following Graham's retirement, McConnell was hired to finish the season and went on to serve as host of Bay Area Backroads for 15 years, until 2008. He was born 1945 and died January 13th. He was 81 years, cause is not given. Marcus Gilbert. He was a British actor whose career began in 1984, featuring appearances in films including The Masks of Death, 1984, and Biggles, alongside work in advertising commercials. In addition to his film work, he performed in theater productions, including the role of the young Viscount Goring in Oscar Wilde's An Ideal Husband for the Middle Ground Theater Company on their national tour in 2000. Over the course of his career, Gilbert made over 50 commercials, notably appearing in the Lee Jeans commercial Mean Jeans, directed by Willie Patterson, which received the Best Cinema Commercial Award in 1986. He ran the film production company Touch the Sky Productions and, in 2004, filmed an appeal for the Arusha Children's Trust in Tanzania while documenting his climb of Mount Kilimanjaro. He was born 1958 and died January 11th. He was 67 years, due to throat cancer. Rebecca Kilgore. She was an American jazz vocalist based in Portland, Oregon, widely regarded as one of the finest interpreters of the Great American Songbook. Throughout her career, she performed with notable jazz musicians including pianist and composer Dave Frischberg, trombonist Dan Barrett, and tenor saxophonist Harry Allen. In 2010, she was inducted into the Oregon Music Hall of Fame. She was born 1949 and died January 7th. She was 76 years, cause is not given. Anne-Marie Prince. She was a Dutch actress, theater director, and writer, recognized for her contributions to stage, television, and experimental performance in the Netherlands. She graduated from drama school in Arnhem in 1961 and initially worked as an actress, later focusing on directing, where her bold and socially engaged approach earned critical attention. In addition to her theater work, Prince was active in film and television, appearing in a range of screen roles, notably in the series Oud Geld, 1998, and Annie M.G., 2010. She was born 1932 and died January 13th. She was 93 years, died by euthanasia.